In this video, I'm gonna be talking about shiny object syndrome, which basically is going niche to niche, business model to business model, basically niche hopping, switching different offers 24/7, hoping that the next best thing is gonna work out in your favor. I'm gonna be debunking some common misconceptions about this, as well as things that I wish I knew, so I stopped niche hopping earlier and actually chasing shiny objects. So the lens is kind of foggy, let me clear it up. But yeah, first thing is, if you're switching from niche to niche, if you're going from business model to business model, it's a key sign that you haven't found success in something yet. And even just minor success, because if you found some sort of minor success with anything, you wouldn't be chasing something else. You would probably just be doubling down on it. And the reason why we can't even find success is because we haven't allowed ourselves to get to the point. Of actually finding success. So let me give you guys a quick little example here. When school came out, the school games, it's like you launch a low ticket community, and then you flood 1,000 people in there, hundreds of people in there, and then you just have, $20,000, $30,000 in a monthly recurring revenue, right? It was a big phase. Hermosi pushed it out extremely hard. And what I realized is that this, honestly, was a shiny object for me, because I saw it and I thought, oh my gosh, school communities are the next best thing. And I kind of got sold on it. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, this opportunity is amazing. I can make, $20,000, $30,000 in monthly recurring revenue with low ticket. But what they don't tell you is how to actually get this audience. What they don't tell you is how to actually monetize it. And what they don't tell you is actually how to build up a loyal audience that converts people into paying members. So I was kind of ran into their blind, and I thought I could make it. And so that was a shiny object in and of itself. I was in the high ticket space. This was probably about a few months back, actually. I didn't completely switch my offer. I didn't completely switch my niche, but there's a lot of you guys out there that completely switch everything. And so I chased the shiny object of the low ticket community, and I regretted it a few months after, or actually probably was a few weeks after, because it was very short lived. And so here's the key takeaway. What you're doing right now has a lag time. It has a lag time between the results and then the inputs. So in other words, the actions that you take today have a lag time. It might not actually pay off until the next few weeks or the next few months. And so we quit before we even get to that point of the lag time paying off. And that's exactly what I made the mistake of doing. And so with that being said, you have to continue with it. So in other words, if I literally just stuck with it, if I stuck with the high ticket offer that was originally running, I would have doubled down on it when everybody else was going into the low ticket space. And then I would have actually stood out more, because I actually am doing something different in the marketplace rather than low ticket. All these high ticket guys who have huge audiences are giving away all their products and services in a low ticket community, whereas I would have stood out because I'm charging, a one-time high ticket price. And so when things like that happen, you have to stick to your guns. And honestly, a lot of people fell for this. A lot of people thought that they could simply just build out a community. This was my huge, my biggest, probably L that I took, I think, in entrepreneurship, was trying to go for low ticket first. But in reality, when you're really trying to get the ball rolling, high ticket's the best way. Get the most capital, get the most experience, you get the most qualified prospects, because they actually pay a lot of money, and they're not paying $20 to be inside of a community. So for those of you guys that are confused, I'm explaining why your ability to stay focused on one thing determines whether or not you let shiny object syndrome take control of you. And so a lot of you guys, especially beginner entrepreneurs, a lot of my clients too, they hit me up, they text in the group channel, in the Slack channel, they go to general and CMRR. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Thomason, the founder at createmrr.com. We help agencies and B2B business owners add $20,000 in new MRR to their offer in 60 days guaranteed. And they say, look, this is cool. I want to try out this new method. I want to do XYZ. And I hop on a call with them, group call or something like that. And it's always like, I ask them the same questions. Okay, logistically, how is XYZ going to work? Okay, well, how would that work with you? Okay, well, how would this work as well? And they always go, oh, I don't know. And so that in of itself is just a common factor of like, look, you have to have everything so planned out for it to work. Because a lot of people will just jump into the shiny object syndrome, just thinking the grass is greener on the other side. And then once when they actually get there, they realize that it's not, because everything has its own pros and cons, and everything is just as difficult as the thing that they were just doing. And so there is no easy way out. The easy way out is just sticking with it. And that's something that took me so long to realize. With that being said, you guys, if you're chasing shiny objects, I'll tell you one thing. Stick to what you have right now for the next week. Give it 1 week. That's all I'm asking you. And I want you to ask every single person who you talk to if the thing that you want to chase would be worth it in comparison to dropping your thing right now. So if you have an offer right now, you're charging high ticket, in my case, and you want to move to low ticket, why don't you ask every single person who you know if this is a good idea? And they will most likely tell you that it's a bad idea because you already have the progress built up, you already have the clientele, or you already have a good offer. You could potentially be making a lot of money with a lot of good margins, but you're giving that up just because you want to charge to the masses. So, with that being said, that's kind of how I went through beating shiny object syndrome. I just kind of failed a little bit, then I took the next steps and then figured out that actually wasn't for me. And so that's kind of pretty much where I stopped. And I realized that high ticket was definitely the way. So with that being said, you guys, I'd simply tell you to keep going. Do not chase shiny objects because everything is just as hard as the thing you're doing right now. And honestly, do not make the mistake. If you're doing high ticket right now and you're seeing some success, 80-20 it, double down on it, and get really good at it. Don't change to low ticket. You probably don't have the audience of 100,000 people or 200,000 people, and it's just not worth it. So that being said, chasing shiny objects can be the downfall of your business, or it can be something that is actually definitely gonna make it a lot worse. I'm leaving it off right there, you guys. Stick with your things, stick with your guns. I'll see you guys later.